In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to explain every single type of cooking oil that exists. From the ones you use every day without thinking, to the ones that professional chefs swear by but most people have never tried. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which oil to use, when to use it, and why using the wrong one is silently ruining your food. You don't need to look anywhere else. Everything is right here. Here's the problem. You're standing in the grocery store, looking at an entire shelf of oils, and you have no idea what the actual difference is. You grab the cheapest one and move on. But that decision matters more than you think. Different oils have different smoke points, the temperature at which they start burning and releasing toxic compounds into your food. Use the wrong oil for frying and you're not just ruining the flavor. You're actually making your food less safe to eat. And it goes the other way too. Use a heavy oil in a salad dressing and the whole dish falls flat. The right oil at the right moment is one of the easiest upgrades you can make in your kitchen. Today, you're going to learn exactly how to do that. We start with the most famous one. Olive oil is made by pressing olives, simple, ancient, and still one of the best oils in the world. But here's what most people don't know. Not all olive oil is the same. Extra virgin olive oil is the highest grade, cold-pressed, unrefined, with a smoke point of around 375 degrees F. Regular olive oil is refined and can handle higher heat, up to 465 degrees F. The difference matters enormously. Extra virgin is for finishing, drizzling over pasta, dipping bread, dressing salads. Regular olive oil is for sautéing and roasting. The surprising fact: the global olive oil market is worth over $15 billion, yet studies show that up to 70% of extra virgin olive oil sold in supermarkets doesn't actually meet the legal standards for that label. You might be paying premium price for a product that isn't what it claims to be. Who it's perfect for: anyone cooking Mediterranean food, finishing dishes, or making salad dressings. The next one is the overachiever of the oil world. Avocado oil is pressed from the flesh of avocados, not the seed, not the skin, the actual fruit. What makes it remarkable is its smoke point, 520 degrees F. That's higher than almost any other cooking oil, which means you can use it for high-heat searing, deep frying, and grilling without it breaking down. And unlike most high-heat oils, it actually tastes good. It has a mild, slightly buttery flavor that works in both savory and sweet cooking. The surprising fact: it takes about 11 avocados to make a single liter of avocado oil. That's why it's expensive, and why cheap avocado oil is almost always adulterated with other cheaper oils. Who it's perfect for: high-heat cooking. Anyone who wants one oil that works for everything from searing steaks to making mayonnaise. Now comes the most controversial oil on the list. Coconut oil is extracted from the flesh of coconuts and is unique because it's solid at room temperature. That's because it's about 90% saturated fat, the highest of any cooking oil. For years, it was marketed as a superfood. Then scientists pushed back hard. The truth is somewhere in the middle. It's not poison, but it's not a health miracle either. What it is, undeniably, is delicious in the right context. It has a smoke point of around 350 degrees F and a distinct coconut flavor that works beautifully in baking, Thai cooking, and anything where you want that tropical note. Refined coconut oil has a neutral flavor and a slightly higher smoke point, which makes it more versatile. The surprising fact: coconut oil is the only cooking fat that's solid enough to use as a direct substitute for butter in baking. Who it's perfect for: baking, Southeast Asian cooking, and anyone who loves the flavor. This is the one everyone has but nobody thinks about. Canola oil comes from the seeds of the canola plant, a variety of rapeseed developed in Canada in the 1970s. The name literally comes from Canadian oil. It has a very neutral flavor, a smoke point of 400 degrees F, and it's one of the cheapest oils on the market. That combination makes it the default choice for most home kitchens. But here's the thing: canola oil is highly processed. It's extracted using chemical solvents, then deodorized, bleached, and refined. That doesn't make it dangerous, but it does mean it has almost no flavor and very little nutritional character. The surprising fact: canola oil contains omega-3 fatty acids, which is unusual for a vegetable oil, but most of those omega-3s are destroyed during the high-heat processing. Who it's perfect for: frying, baking when you want zero flavor interference, and any recipe where oil is purely functional. But the next one might surprise you, because it's not actually a single thing. Vegetable oil is a generic term for a blend of different refined plant oils, usually soybean, corn, sunflower, or palm oil mixed together. The exact formula changes depending on the brand, and even the year manufacturers use whatever's cheapest at the time. That's why vegetable oil has no distinct flavor, no character, and no story. It's the most anonymous ingredient in your kitchen. Its smoke point sits around 400–450 degrees F depending on the blend. The surprising fact: when you buy vegetable oil, you genuinely don't know exactly what you're buying. The label doesn't have to specify which plants were used. Who it's perfect for: deep frying in large quantities where flavor doesn't matter and cost does. Now comes one that deserves far more attention than it gets. Sunflower oil is pressed from sunflower seeds and comes in two main versions, regular and high oleic. Regular sunflower oil has a smoke point of around 440 degrees F and a very light, neutral flavor. High oleic sunflower oil pushes that smoke point even higher and is much more stable at heat. Both versions are rich in vitamin E. 1 tablespoon gives you about 28% of your daily recommended intake. That's more than almost any other cooking oil. The surprising fact: sunflower oil is the fourth most consumed cooking oil in the world, but in American and British home kitchens it's almost invisible, completely overshadowed by canola and vegetable oil, even though it performs better. Who it's perfect for: frying, roasting, and any high-heat application where you want a clean-tasting oil with real nutritional value. This is the most powerful oil on the entire list, not in terms of heat, in terms of flavor. A single teaspoon of toasted sesame oil can transform an entire dish. It's made from pressed sesame seeds, and it comes in two versions: light sesame oil, which has a mild flavor and a smoke point of around 410 degrees F, and toasted sesame oil, which is dark, intensely nutty, and should almost never be cooked at high heat. Toasted sesame oil is a finishing oil, full stop. You add it at the end. A few drops in a stir-fry, a noodle dish, or a marinade, and the whole thing comes alive. The surprising fact: sesame is one of the oldest cultivated plants in human history, over 3,500 years old, and sesame oil was used in ancient Egypt, India, and China long before olive oil became dominant in the West. Who it's perfect for: Asian cooking, marinades, dressings, and finishing any dish that needs depth. The next one is the secret weapon of professional fryers. Peanut oil is pressed from peanuts and has a smoke point of 450 degrees F, making it one of the best oils for deep frying. But what sets it apart isn't just the heat tolerance, it's that peanut oil doesn't absorb food flavors. When you fry chicken in peanut oil, the oil stays clean. You can fry multiple batches without the oil picking up the taste of the previous one. That's why it's the standard in many professional kitchens, and why most fast food chains used it for decades before switching to cheaper alternatives. The surprising fact: despite coming from peanuts, refined peanut oil is considered safe for most people with peanut allergies because the refining process removes the proteins that trigger allergic reactions. Who it's perfect for: deep frying, wok cooking, and any high heat application where oil purity matters. And we reach the last one before the ranking, and it's technically not an oil, but it belongs here. Butter has a smoke point of only 300 degrees F, which makes it terrible for high heat cooking on its own. But ghee, which is clarified butter with the milk solids removed, pushes that up to 485 degrees F. What you're left with is pure butterfat with an incredibly rich, nutty flavor and a heat tolerance that rivals avocado oil. Ghee is the standard cooking fat in Indian cuisine and has been used in South Asian cooking for over 4,000 years. The surprising fact: ghee doesn't need refrigeration. The removal of water and milk solids means it can stay shelf-stable at room temperature for months, sometimes over a year. Who it's perfect for: anyone who loves the flavor of butter, but needs to cook at high heat, searing, roasting vegetables, or making Indian food. All right, here's the ranking nobody gives you. Not best to worst, most overrated to most underrated. Most overrated: extra virgin olive oil. Not because it's bad, it's incredible. But people cook with it at high heat constantly, and that's exactly wrong. The moment it hits 375 degrees F, it starts breaking down and losing everything that makes it special. It's one of the most misused oils in any kitchen. Just below it, coconut oil. The health claims around it were massively exaggerated. It's a good oil with a specific purpose. It's not a superfood. In the middle, canola and vegetable oil. They're fine. They're functional. But if you're using them because you think they're healthier than other options, the processing they go through erases most of that advantage. Avocado oil is genuinely impressive on paper, highest smoke point on this list, good flavor, works for everything. But here's the problem: it's expensive, and most bottles on the shelf are adulterated with cheaper oils. Now we enter underrated territory. Sunflower oil should be in every kitchen. better smoke point than canola, more nutritional value, similar price. Almost nobody talks about it. Peanut oil is criminally underused at home. If you fry anything, chicken, donuts, French fries, peanut oil gives you results that canola simply can't match. Ghee is the biggest underdog on this list. 4,000 years of cooking history, extraordinary flavor, high smoke point, shelf stable. And most Western home cooks have never used it. And the most underrated of all, toasted sesame oil. It's not a cooking oil, it's a flavor weapon. One bottle lasts months. A few drops changes everything. If you don't have it in your kitchen right now, that's the one thing you should change this week. That's everything. 9 oils, 9 different tools. Extra virgin olive oil for finishing. Avocado oil for high heat. Coconut oil for baking and Asian cooking. Canola and vegetable for when you just need something neutral. Sunflower when you want neutral done better. Peanut oil for frying. Ghee when you want butter that can actually take the heat. And toasted sesame oil for flavor you can't get anywhere else. The oil you choose changes the dish. It's that simple. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these oils do you already use? And is there one I missed that you swear by? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this video helped you, a like gets it in front of more people who need it. And if you want to keep learning about the things you use every day without really knowing what they are, subscribe. That's exactly what we do here every week. See you in the next one.